And so we are using so let's say the powers that be are using the negative aspects of the polar energy, which is Leo, to dominate, using the newer aspects or positive aspects of the Aquarian age technology, which is artificial intelligence. So through that, the perfecting of control of society through the use of, say, the Western system, the Eastern system, the government system, totalitarianism with China, using technology, so technocratic state. So that is the negative part of it. However, there's still other aspects that, as we are ushering in, or we are slowly moving into this energy, this cycle, people have to stand up for what is true, for justice, to contend against what is not, the stranglehold on humanity through either economics or political means or other means. So we need to fight. Doesn't have to be physical, it has to be mental, emotional, spiritual. The physical fight is the last resort. Why? Because also when we listen or when you watch The Matrix, the first one, where Morpheus is trying to free Neo's mind, he tells him, when you are ready, you don't have to dodge the bullets that the agent will be firing at you. So Neo, before that, he had asked, are you telling me if I'm the one, I'm going to be able to dodge the bullets? And then in response, Morpheus is saying, no, when you are ready, you won't have to dodge those bullets. So that means us as humanity, when we are mentally at the right state, frequency and vibration, and doing what we have to do, being our true selves authentically, then there's no bullet that needs to be fired to win this war on us or on our consciousness. However, because there's still fragmentations or different levels at which we are all at, and those that are resisting the rising of Christ within them, the resisting of facing your own traumas to heal yourself so that you can be the better version of yourself. So then that now makes it harder for those that are already on that level to work with those that are still at a lesser level, because then they're dragging them down. They don't want to change themselves to become better versions of themselves, not to change themselves for anything or anyone, but for themselves. They don't want to go through that. So then that's why we still have this negative energy that's sort of like becoming stronger to disrupt things, because there's still those within us who don't want to do the work, which obviously is making all of this take time and easier for the powers to be to keep us divided on, say, really stupid things like culture, religious differences, race differences, and all those things. And all of those differences, political differences and whatsoever, they are so futile to our humanity. They are so futile to our consciousness, which is what is at stake. Or should I say your spirituality, yourself, your true self. Because you are not this body. This is my vehicle. Hence I say my body, possession, it's my body. You understand? So once we move away from the dogmatic belief systems of thinking power is not within you as a person, Piscean age, to move into this age now, realizing the truth that the power has always been with you, within you, and God has never been out there somewhere. God has always been this energy within you, as you. And so once we get that within ourselves, germinate within that thought process, understand it, know how to use it for ourselves, then we stand a chance of contending, energetically speaking, against the powers that be. Because the powers that be thrive on negative energy. Once we fight each other, we are so low vibrational, things are good for them. But once we start doing the right thing, doing right things for us, they panic. They do things to disrupt us from the point, from whatsoever. So you can see right now there's sort of like a scramble economically, globally. Countries are not sort of getting along because the domination of the one world power, unipolar, is crumbling, even though now we have not seen the effects of it, but it is crumbling. And now we're moving to a multipolar world, because obviously now people are, so you can say governments are tired of the one watchdog who's self-appointed to watch everyone and police everyone else. And you know who I'm talking about, which country. And so we're moving from that to the multipolar, so that in that multipolar there's a chance that the average, in terms of law of the averages, the average would be in a positive way, that we would be able to then submerge or overcome this negative power that's trying to subdue everyone in the world. And obviously it won't be easy with the introduction now of digital IDs and then other steps and processes of digitizations which are now coming to the individual, because the cell phone is no longer enough, or the smartphone is no longer enough for getting your attention or distracting you. They need to control you. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you spending your money on? And whether or not can they stop that. So cashless society, digitization of cash, everything. So all of those things, these changes we're moving to, they can all be positive. However, with the types of governmental global power that we have, they are not good to have such power over us. So you can say they have bad intentions on how to do this, on how to continue, say, running society or the global affairs. Because to a world power who is frustrated that people or its society is not falling in line, or its government system, either democracy or whatsoever, is not really doing well, they are not concerned that people are losing rights, there's more poverty, unemployment. They're not concerned about that. They're concerned about the efficiency of the system to keep people in line. And with the tests that are going on now in China, the technocratic part of it, or the technology with AI, it presents a good opportunity for that efficiency to be achieved, effectiveness. So hence now we're moving to that part. And obviously the democratic states, or so the Western world, is in its pretentious play right now, as if they don't want that. They don't want what China is already perfecting. They want it, they just don't know how to introduce it to the quote-unquote democratic world they've built, or societies, as if already they are not doing anything to sabotage that. So it's sort of like systems are sort of like in chaotic form right now, because there's this transition that has to happen, and it has to be swift, cutthroat, done with little to no impediments or distractions or anomalies of people who would say, no, we don't want this, we are fine, we're going to go and live in the wild, off grid, we don't want digitization, we don't want whatsoever, because of what that government inefficiency in the before system, in the previous system, would now do when they have the power of technology to achieve that efficiency. They would subdue more people, destroy more lives, suppress more freedom of speech, all of those things. So we are moving to that. However, there's this part of now the Christ consciousness rising that is on us. We have to do work on ourselves individually, work together, so that now the united front that we may present as, say, part of society can then be helped or felt with its when it trickles down, the reverberations of whatever that will be done, we do. Not striking. I'm not saying striking is useless, but we shouldn't strike. We need organization. We need to change tactics. We need organization. We need to think better, because they're not afraid of you striking. Hence, they have the police and the army to shoot you and kill you. So we need to think better, act better, then attack better, mentally, spiritually. Banning things won't really get us there. It's not getting us there. And they're used to that. They know that. They are prepared for that. So we need something else that does not say fear. Because we're banning things, we're afraid of what they're doing. We shouldn't be afraid. We should go on to heal ourselves, raise our consciousness to a level where what they're doing spiritually won't have an effect on us, so that we can see the system play itself out. As I'm explaining it to you now, we have to be able to see it, see where they are, where they want to be, why they want to be in that state, where we are, whatsoever state. Then it's easier for us to be proactive. But if we're just moving with fear, we don't know what we're doing or what they're doing, trying to achieve, then it's all reactions because of fear. So we need to move better with this understanding of how these systems are behaving right now because of this Aquarian age. So I'll see you next time. And if you want to learn more about this Aquarian age, you can purchase my book. It's online on Amazon. The name of the book is Temet Noske, which is Latin for Know Thyself. So it's my latest book, so you can learn more about that and the other things that are probably important for you to know thyself. Not obviously in the physical sense of things, but on the aspect of esoteric knowledge, your spirituality, why it's important, and how to really know yourself and your mind, how it works, and all those things.